some people, Jeremy, will want to develop their career, go a bit further, and there's always that bit of awkwardness if you want to discuss it with your manager. There's going to be a little bit of worrying about if you dip your toes in and talk about it or express interest in moving up the ladder. But there's also probably on the flip side, there's going to be some negativity there. Why have I not had a promotion? That sort of thing. So, what are your thoughts about handling these career development discussions?
Discussions, yes. Okay. Well, my first thought is that if the organisation has a process not only for performance appraisal, but also for personal development discussions, then that is going to be extremely helpful, because you can focus in the performance management discussions clearly on the person's job role in their current job, what the expectation is, what they're doing well, that's where they need to develop further, any weaknesses they need to focus on, and the individual knows, and you as the manager know, that this is a discussion about the current job. The challenge of the personal development discussion, whether it's formal or informal, we all know, for example, that the best performers are the most ambitious, and perhaps they're the ones that will step outside any of these laid down processes, or if they don't exist, they'll take the initiative and come to you and say, look, when am I going to be promoted, or when am I going to get this or that job? And they push hard on their own career agenda. So these people are a challenge, because on the one hand, you really need them because they're doing a really great job and they have got great potential. So you certainly don't want to lose them, but at the same time, you have got to avoid being drawn into a conversation which is outside of your personal limitations. So, for example, as a manager, much of a person's career I can only assist with within the confines of the organisation itself, whether it's growing, its structure, and what its policies are when it comes to promoting people and developing people. So there's a lot of what I call organisational constraint around me, which does not permit me really to make promises or to get into some really concrete and tangible conversations about what I can do for the person. Now, I mention that just so that you as the manager know that that is the case. So when somebody comes to me and says, well, look, I'm wanting to get on, and when am I going to be promoted, and so on, I will explain to them that I'm working in a certain amount of constraint, and I would gently point out that all of us are responsible for our own personal development and career development. However, as a manager, I would certainly want to assist them and support them in any way that I could with their development activities. So in a way, I manage their expectations with that kind of opening remark. Then I would go on to say, well, look, let's just see what I can do to help you. Let's just first of all review your career to date. How have you seen that? What have you enjoyed? What have you not enjoyed so much? How do you see your strengths and weaknesses? What are your natural talents that you would like to grow and develop further? What might be some of the weaknesses that could get in your way and which you would perhaps want to avoid if you could, working hard at if they're not really going to be things that you're going to do particularly well? Let's sort of carry out a little bit of an audit of that, a little bit of a balance sheet of you as a person and where you can best contribute. Then I think I would say, well, look, okay, let's just go 2 years from now. What would you see yourself doing? See if you can draw that from them. What is the role? What's the function? What level? Who are they working with? What kind of work are they doing? Where are they doing it? Whether it's within the organisation or elsewhere, let's just try and get a picture of what it is they might be moving towards over that time frame. And then, having got that from them, if I can draw that out of them, they may not even have got a clue about that. They just want to get promoted. that might not be the best thing for them. Then I would say, okay, given that's what you're looking towards, where are we now? We've discussed this. So what development activities could you invest in? Could I assist you with, within the confines I've got, that will take you in that direction? And then I would agree with them that maybe I could help them with training, some internal training programs, or coaching or mentoring, that they could help themselves by undertaking some external training programs and some qualifications, that sort of thing. That on the internet there is a huge amount of personal development resources, from videos and articles and books to avail themselves of. And I would then position it in terms of, so look, going forward, clearly I can't predict nor make any promises about when you're not going to be promoted or moved to the job that you want. What I can do is work with you in these areas that we've discussed. So let's work out a game plan, feed it into a personal development document in which you know what you need to do in the timeframes. I will commit to doing certain things to assist you and the timeframes, and then let's meet together in, let's say, 3 months and just see how those development activities are taking you towards your personal goal. That is what I can do. And I think having that kind of upfront discussion with them is really helpful for them, and they know that you will do whatever you can to assist them, but there can never be any guarantee from you, because that's just beyond your remit of responsibility and authority. So that's how I would deal with it.
And it's obviously important from the manager's side of things to uphold what they've said they do.
Oh, absolutely. You have to follow that through. Don't forget, as a manager, one of your primary responsibilities is to develop and grow your people anyway. You should be doing that anyway.
Yes.
And therefore, it's not an unrealistic request to from an employee to have you support them in their aspirations in terms of their personal goals and their personal development.
Thank you.